Supreme Court, the justices will hear historic arguments on same-sex marriage. 37 states now allow same-sex marriages, almost all as a result of federal court rulings. But as you see, Georgia, not one of those 37. But this Supreme Court case could perhaps open the door, allowing gay or same-sex couples to wed here in the Deep South. Here to talk about this is a guy who knows a lot about marriage. He is really Atlanta's top family law attorney, Randall Kessler, also the author of the book, Divorce, Protect Yourself, Your Kids, and Your Future. All right, let's not talk about divorce today, okay?
All right, well...
First, sorry. Sorry. Let's talk about marriage. I mean, these I didn't mean to throw
you got to get married before you can get divorced. Exactly.
So, really, you're talking about two things here. Aren't we talking about the bans that some states have on same-sex marriage? And then, what happens if you get married in one state, but you live in a state that doesn't allow it? That's what this is all about today.
That's exactly what it's about. A few years ago in the Windsor case, the Supreme Court said federal law can't not recognize a gay marriage from Massachusetts or wherever it's legal. But the state still could say, like Georgia can say, we're not recognizing a marriage that happened in Massachusetts between a man and a man. The Supreme Court today will hear arguments on whether a state like Georgia has to recognize a same-sex marriage that was valid in Massachusetts, and whether Georgia can ban same-sex marriages granted in Georgia.
Well, and let's look at the practicality of it, though. If, in fact, the Supreme Court, in its ruling, ultimately in this case, says, hey, Georgia, you have to recognize a marriage from Massachusetts, a same-sex marriage, then basically that's the end of the game, isn't it?
That is, and it's what we call the full faith and credit clause. You're a lawyer, you studied that just like I did in law school, and, you know, why shouldn't some states recognize laws of other states? If you get a driver's license in Massachusetts, you can drive here. And, you know, we joked about divorce, but the truth is, divorce is the process that lets people disentangle, and that's one of the important rights that you would get if you were able to get married and you're a same-sex couple.
All right, let's talk about what we expect to happen today. I mean, looking at the way this whole thing is shaping up, how do you expect the Supreme Court to handle this? I mean, have they shown their hand at all here?
Well, you know, on one hand, a lot of people say they wouldn't have taken the case if they weren't going to change something and do something drastic. You know, on the other hand, there are people arguing the states, the voters, we should get to decide who can get married in our state and who shouldn't. But there is precedent. You know, back in the 1960s, the Supreme Court said voters don't have the right to decide that black people can't marry white people, that across the nation, interracial marriage was allowed. So, you know, who knows which way it's going to go, but a lot of people, a lot of activists, a lot of people that have been hoping for same-sex marriage think this is it.
This is it. All right. And again, I did not mean to slide your book off the table.
Hey, that's how a lot of people feel about divorce.
I was just trying to get divorce to the side here. Thanks so much, Randall Kessler. Great to have you.
Good to see you again, man.
All right. There is no question.